Alright, so those of you that still are staying tuned, we're gonna finish up. We're gonna remove our clutch. We're gonna remove our pump, oil pump, primary, our shift lever, our cam, our shift cam, our roller, our cam roller. And then we'll split the case and we'll go ahead and get our crank out of here. I'm gonna clean up all this gasket crap real quick, and we'll be right back. These blades in particular work really good for getting off old gaskets. You could really get a good edge on it, as you see, and just kind of shred it off. And sometimes it might be better to go one way or the other, but it's a good way to keep from nicking your case up, just like that. You can just follow the gasket all the way down. Alright, now we're going to be loosening up our primary drive gear. What I use is just the little nut method here. This is a reverse thread nut. You kind of have to hopefully just look and see if it's reverse thread. If you could tell, if not, just go for it. You know, try regular first. If it starts feeling like you're tightening it, switch it up, put the nut in the other end, and then hit it up, you know, standard, I guess, regular rotation, clockwise, and trim, whatever. Just kind of gotta find out by error sometimes. Make sure it's on a good make sure it's got a really good grip on whatever nut you're using. So try to line the teeth up really good. Alright, we'll go with that. It's probably gonna fall out. Looks like we need a 19. Oh, it's really greasy. Alright. We don't have our 19. Here's A19. Not necessarily the 19, and not one that will fit. Hold on, be right back. Alright, one other thing we gotta look at here. So, I'm gonna take this out, because we're gonna be cracking it pretty soon, and we'll clean it out if we need to. This clutch basket has little indents right here. It looks like it might want you to take the now we can fit it. Alright, so yeah, you just gotta look for the little indents right here. Look for those, and then you can line it up. And we just use that bolt and we stick it underneath. It's really oily. So yeah, you're just gonna stick it right underneath, basically the opposite of this. And make sure it's really set in there. You won't break any teeth or anything. So don't worry. As long as you set it in properly to make sure that it's hung up on both teeth, like you could probably go down one like no, up. Let's get a good example here. It's kind of hard because we got this piston messing up. So like that would be perfect. Oops. See how it's nice and locked in there? There's no way that would break any teeth. That bolt will start bending before any of those teeth break. Alright. So we're going to reverse that. and try to leave our on here. I think that will do. Looks like we could do without the extension. I'm gonna try it on this table. I'm not sure if we'll have much luck. Might need to be down on the floor. These things get torqued down pretty hard. Oh, no, we got it. Leverage is very nice too. So the longer the bar you have, and use it at the end. So because I have this on all the way, I would use it down here at the very end and push down. And you'll get a nice, it'll make torquing this thing off a lot easier. All right. So there we are. That is our primary drive bolt. That's just going to make it easier. So later on, and see how it's reverse thread. This is, keep that in mind when you're doing it. And make sure you keep it lined up, I guess. We'll just take it off for now. We don't really need to have it on. We'll just hold the basket when we go to take the basket off. Hold it with like a towel or something like that. And then I just use an impact. It doesn't... I'd say torquing it with the... with a big bar for leverage might have more chance of damaging the bearing than actually using an impact. So now we're going to go ahead and pop the clutch off. And for this, it's just 10 millimeter. You don't really need to take it in any special order. Try to keep it even, but it doesn't matter if it's off. It's not really much behind here other than the 4 springs, so I didn't get that one all the way. Alright, so we got that off, and here are our 4 springs, and then this should be probably 17 millimeter, I would assume. Actually, it looks like a 14. Let's find out. Yep, that's a 14. Alright, so on the KLX140 2013 clutch basket, it's a 14 millimeter. So we're gonna hook this up to the air compressor and we'll blast it off real quick. Oh, camera's off, sorry. Okay, so we got this is not reverse thread, this is just standard. Wow, it's got a lot of resistance. Okay. Maybe there was some thread locker. It looks a little dirty, actually. I do not know why that was so hard to come out. It looks like it's got some odd wear to it, though. Oh, sorry, can you see that? That's the, it's like the inner bearing of the clutch basket might be bad or something. I don't know. I don't know what that line is. Maybe it's just like that. Alright, so now we'll grab the clutch basket off. Take the whole thing. And grab the thrust washer. That's right behind it. It's got a really odd smell to this. Alright. I'm assuming I had water in here at some point in time. Alright, so we got our rear thrust washer. We just got our basket. We'll put, you could put it back together if you want. Nice to keep shit organized. but we won't. We'll just set it here. Alright, so we'll clean this up just a tiny bit. We've already got our primary off. Keep that with the bolt. I don't know where. Oh, here it is. So it's good to keep them together, even though one's a 19 and one's a 14. I don't think there's too many ways to mess that up. We're gonna have to take this off. Never really, this is kind of odd. Oh, there it is. So, I guess that pin doesn't really hold it. Oh, maybe it does. Oh, it's getting held up from our pump. Alright, so we're going to take our pump off real quick. So what we're going to need to do is align this as we go. Well, actually, it looks like right there, you could hit all three. One thing I recommend is using the correct size Phillips. So see how this one is very wide, and this one is very narrow. Most of these case bolts, if they're Phillips, you're going to want to use these wide so you don't strip them. Fits in there very snug. And another recommendation, if you're using an impact, which I would recommend using too, would be pushing towards the case. So kind of put your hand on the other side of the case and push towards your impact. Make sure it's on reverse, and just go ahead and pop them. You could kind of loosen them if you want, just at first, to kind of make sure you keep everything squared up, but you don't really need to. You could also just take the screw out. You do not want to strip these though, so make sure you use, so yeah, this is a different size bolt than the other one, so keep them in order. We'll just take the whole pump assembly off. Alright, there's all three. And then we'll just pull on the old sprocket here, and it should pull our pump off, except we put this one on a tiny bit. So we gotta take that off. And it's stuck. Alright, there we are. So there is our pump. That's our oil pump. We'll just leave that over here on the table to kind of dry out. So next we could just pull our primary sprocket off, and you can also take the key, the crank key, and I think this side's about ready, other than the shaft here. So we're going to want to flip it over to the other side though, and make sure that the shift shaft on the shift lever end is nice and clean, because we're going to be pulling it through, and you don't want to damage the inside walls, any of the surfaces. Alright, so one second. Okay, I don't know if that's gonna help at all, but I just gonna rearrange the lights a little bit back here. So what we're gonna do is come back to our shift shaft, and you see how dirty that is? You don't want to pull it through like that, so sit here and really give it a good cleaning. Make sure you get everything off of it, because this is going to be going right through your engine, through little canals that are meant just for this diameter. Get that end off too. I should have like a little mask on and some glasses, because this shit will go in your face. And don't be scared to hit that seal, because you really need to get all of that. Worst case scenario is it's bent or something like that, and then it's just I'd recommend cutting it to save the case. Shafts are cheap, cases are expensive. Alright, so I'd say that's about as clean as she's gonna get. Alright, let's sit back up. Make sure we're right where we want to be. Alright, so we've got see how nice and smooth that came out. So see, we've got no burrs or anything on it, so that was good. Didn't feel any resistance when we pulled it through. Nice and clean. Alright, so now we got this bad boy almost done. We're gonna go ahead and pull off. This is our filter. Pretty not bad actually, it's just got oil in it. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pop these. Looks like we got a 210s. We'll just throw this back on. I'd go ahead and recommend taking this first. Oh, put a little bit, give it a little wiggle. Oops, got her hand caught. Oh, I see, there's a washer that's stopping me. Alright, once we get that loose enough, I should have took that washer off and it would have made it 10 times easier. But hey, we got it. So we'll put the roller, that's our cam roller. We'll put that right over there with the nut. Keep everything together. This is a nut, but that's the one we used to break free the primary. So we'll just put that over there. Looking pretty good, not clean at all, but it will be clean when we're done with it, so no worries there. We'll go ahead and take our shift selector off of our cam, our shift cam, and this, I really hate to impact it, but if you could get a really good hold on it, I mean, there's not too many options. It's a long one, my gosh. Alright, and looks like we got a key as well. We'll pull that out. Oh. So there it is. There's a key that, oops, there it is. There's a key that goes right in between and holds it in place. So we got that whole little assembly there. And alright, that's everything we need. Oh, there's a little washer for our shift roller or cam roller. All right, let's try to clean these up so when we pull them through, actually, yeah, we'll either be pulling or pushing them. Actually, we'll be doing it from the stator side. We'll call this part 2 because it's a little bit on the long side. That's how you disassemble the clutch side. Full clutch side disassembly. Don't forget you got these 2 O-rings right here, these 2 rubber O-rings. You've got a dowel pin holding on the oil pump. I don't see too much else that's really to worry about right now. We'll see if there's thrust washers for the transmission as soon as we crack the case. I'd recommend taking the piston off if you can beforehand. It makes things easier. I don't know if you could even see this. Yeah, but this one's got a hole in it and it is not coming off easy. So I'm just gonna use the press, the hydraulic press right over there, and press it out probably right at the end, just in case we have to press the other side of this crankshaft out too. All right, so that's part 2. We'll be back to part 3. We'll be splitting the case.